running drugs.
I'd rather die than tell you.
You're already a dead man.
You'll send your strangers packing. I will.
You were in a hole, and so was I.
They want us.
Then they're gonna get us.
Thought I'd seen my last firefight.
Everything we watched in episode 8 felt like it was building toward peace. Bula survived her heart attack. Everett finally opened his heart and made her a promise of a quiet life. For one beautiful moment, it actually looked like the violence was going to stop. But the trailer for episode 9 just demolished all of that. The season finale is called El Padrino, and the footage they released is chaotic, devastating, and full of signals that most people completely missed on their first watch. Guns are blazing, loyalties are shattering, and a name from the past is about to walk back into the present and tear the 10-Petal Ranch apart from the inside. The war is not coming. It is already here. To understand why this trailer hits so hard, you have to go back to where episode 8 left things, and the picture it painted was already dangerous before a single shot was fired in this finale footage. Bula woke up in that hospital room carrying the full weight of the 10-Petal Ranch on her chest, and the first thing she did was confirm Rob Will as her successor. Not reverse it, not reconsider it, confirm it. Even knowing the kind of man he is, even knowing what he is capable of, she let that decision stand. And Rob Will did not waste a single hour of his new authority. He moved fast, he moved bold, and he moved like someone who has been waiting for this moment for a very long time. The most chilling part is not what he has done already. It is how little resistance he has met while doing it. Meanwhile, Austin dropped the bomb that nobody saw coming. The 10-Petal Ranch has been running an illegal cattle stealing operation out of Mexico. West did not just stumble across ranch drama. He uncovered the financial engine that keeps the entire empire running, and he was murdered for it. The foot and mouth disease that tore through the Dutton herd was not bad luck. It was connected directly to that operation, and now Beth and Rip understand exactly what they are dealing with. They know where the money comes from, they know how the machine works, and they are done watching from the outside. The trailer confirms it. Rip has his gun and he is moving with a purpose that goes beyond protection. Beth is sharp-eyed and furious, working angles that no one else in this story is even close to seeing. Together, they have become the most dangerous force in Texas, not because they are violent, but because they finally have the truth. And truth in a world built on lies is the most lethal weapon of all. But here's where the trailer goes somewhere no one predicted. Joaquin took the murder weapon straight to Sheriff Wade, hoping that evidence alone would be enough to bring Rob Will down. The sheriff turned him away. No body, no case. That refusal is the moment that sends Joaquin to the cemetery. And from that cemetery, he makes a phone call to his father. That single call is the detail that changes everything this finale is going to become. Most people watching this trailer focused on the gunfire, the fast cuts, the desperate faces, the obvious action, but the detail that actually matters is quieter than any of that. And it is sitting right there in the title. El Padrino means the Godfather. The show did not name this episode casually. In storytelling, the title of a finale is a promise. It is the writers telling you directly what the episode is really about before you ever press play. And El Padrino points at one person with unmistakable precision, Mariano, Joaquin's father, and the man whose history with Bula stretches all the way back to those early flashbacks that the show has been slowly feeding us throughout the season. Here is what makes this detail so heavy. We were given a story where Mariano was supposed to be dead or gone, removed from the picture, out of the equation, no longer relevant. But the show kept returning to him in those flashback sequences for a very specific reason. They were not nostalgia, they were setup. Every time we saw young Bula in those moments with Mariano, the writers were laying a foundation that this finale is now about to build on. Joaquin's phone call from the cemetery is not desperation. It is an escalation. He's not calling his father for comfort. He is calling a man who, based on the evidence the trailer is laying out, may have never actually left this story. If Mariano has been alive this whole time, if he has been operating the illegal cattle business from Mexico that the 10-Petal Ranch depends on, then the question of who the real power behind this empire is changes completely. Rob Will thinks he has just taken control of the ranch. He may have actually walked straight into the house that Mariano built, without knowing whose house it really is. The detail that makes this even more dangerous is Bula herself. She trusted Joaquin, she raised him, she called him a son. But the trailer makes it unmistakably clear that she has never told him the full story of what happened between her and Mariano all those years ago. Did she adopt Joaquin out of love? Or was that adoption a transaction? Payment for a crime Mariano covered up for her, a debt she has been carrying quietly for decades. If Joaquin's phone call awakens something in his father, Bula may find herself facing the one secret she has protected longer than any other. And this time, there will be nowhere left to hide it. Here's where this gets genuinely terrifying, and this is theory. But it is theory built on everything the show has been quietly showing us. It is possible that Mariano has been alive and operational this entire time. The illegal cattle business from Mexico did not build itself. Someone organized it, funded it, and protected it across years of exposure risk. That level of operation requires a person with both underworld connections and a personal stake in the 10-Petal Ranch's survival. Mariano fits that profile in a way that no other character in this story does. If that is true, then the whole power structure of this show may need to be completely reread. Rob Will believes he is the new king. Bula believes she is the retired queen. Beth and Rip believe they are the outsiders who finally cracked the code. But what if none of them are the actual center of gravity here? What if Mariano has been the real El Padrino, the true godfather of the 10-Petal Ranch, operating from a distance that kept him invisible to everyone except Bula? This could mean that Joaquin's phone call does not just bring his father back into the conversation. It could mean it brings an entirely different kind of power into the conflict, the kind of power that Rob Will has absolutely no way to handle, no connections to protect himself from, and no leverage to negotiate with. If Mariano steps in to settle old debts, Rob Will's sudden authority evaporates instantly. There is another possibility that may be even darker. What if Bula did not just have a complicated past with Mariano? What if she is the reason he disappeared? The show has given us hints that Bula has done things she has never answered for. Actions buried so deep in her history that even people close to her have never seen them clearly. It is possible that the murder Mariano supposedly took the blame for was committed by Bula herself, and the adoption of Joaquin was her way of paying a debt to the man who protected her. If Joaquin calls his father and the full truth starts coming out, Bula will not just lose the ranch, she may lose the son she raised. And then there is the cartel angle, which the trailer is now explicitly teasing. An illegal cattle operation running across an international border does not stay clean for long. It is possible that the 10-Petal Ranch's financial lifeline runs directly through organized crime connections in Mexico. And if Mariano is the bridge between those two worlds, bringing him back into play means bringing all of that with him. Beth and Rip may think they are walking into a Texas ranch war. What they are actually walking into could be something on a scale neither of them has ever faced before. The trailer makes the escalation clear, and it is moving fast. Joaquin and Rip are going to go back for Wes's body. That is the most logical next move given everything the trailer is showing, and it is the move that could flip the entire legal situation overnight. Sheriff Wade brushed Joaquin off because there was no evidence he could hold in his hands, but a body changes everything. A body with the murder weapons Joaquin already retrieved gives the sheriff exactly what he needs, and it removes Rob Will's ability to walk freely around the ranch. Like he owns it, because in one moment he would go from successor to suspect. But Rob Will is not going to wait quietly while that happens. The trailer is showing a man who has already proven he acts first and thinks second when his position feels threatened. If he catches even a whisper that Joaquin and Rip are moving against him, his response is going to be violent, reckless, and fast. That is when the shootout footage in the trailer starts to make sense. This is not a planned confrontation between two organized sides. This is a desperate man who knows he is about to be cornered, doing everything he can to make sure the walls never close in completely. Everett is going to be pulled into this whether he wants to be or not. He promised Bula a quiet life. He meant it. But Bula is physically weaker after the heart attack, emotionally torn, and surrounded by people who are all pointing weapons at each other across a very small piece of land. When the violence reaches the ranch directly, Everett is not the kind of man who steps back and watches the woman he loves get caught in the crossfire. That moment in the trailer where he grabs his gun, that is not aggression.